Hello YouTube, and today I'm going to show you how to fit this Water2 water filter system where you've got the flexible hoses coming down from your kitchen tap as the one described on the website when you buy this product. So in the box you have your base sticker and a bit of informative information about your water filter. Then under this protective covering you have the water filter itself that is sat very snug inside this foam packaging. All you need to do is remove that and put that to one side and just work out in general where you're going to put this water softener. So underneath the base of that there is your spare washers, flexible connectors that connect into the water filter and a single check valve. So put all that to one side, make sure you've got all these parts inside, just take them out of the box and put them to one side so you have them ready. You no longer need the box at this point, so you can just put that to one side and concentrate on everything underneath the sink. So you just want to look under your sink and just check everything is okay and there's no leaks. Then you need to see where you're going to put the water filter in a nice little spot where you can get to it easily for future maintenance. So just here I think it'll do nicely. So I'm going to get my flexible connectors out, get them ready and look to see where I could turn the water off feeding the kitchen tap. So there should be an isolation valve, which is also called a ball fix valve, feeding the kitchen sink tap on its own. If not, you may have to turn your mains off to do this. So one thing I did do was I plugged the flexi straight into the water filter, and on reflection I found this actually to make the installation process a little bit harder. So maybe leave this off till last minute and just concentrate on the connections to the tap and the isolation valve first of all, and then connect these in last. So on the filter there is an in and out, so you just got to bear that in mind. Here I'm just setting up the alarm, which is a yearly alarm, just to remind you to change your water filter. Just push the battery in and hold the button for 3 seconds until it beeps. So with the isolation valve located, I'm just going to turn that off with a flat bladed screwdriver. And as you can see, this was quite a bit of time it took just to turn this isolation valve off. It was very stiff. So with that turned off, I can then open the cold tap and make sure the water has been isolated. With the water isolated, you can then undo the nut at the top of the isolation valve with adjustable grips and a spanner. Do be aware there will be a slight bit of water, so do have a towel or a bit of roll ready to catch any water. Next, you want to connect the male flexi onto the female from the kitchen tap, like so, making sure that the black washer is inside. So you can do this hand tight and then just give it a nip up with your grips and a spanner to ensure a firm connection for leak free. So with that nice and tight, just under here, every installation is different, but this is what this one looks like. Yours might look a bit different. So just that's nice and tight, not overly tight. Don't go too tight with it because that will squash the washer too much and it might start to leak. Just going to dry that up so I know it's nice and dry when I turn it back on and we've got no leaks. So I'm just going to dry any water up now and push that to one side. As you can see, I've just fed that behind the trap for a nice neat installation. Then with the inlet, I'm going to tuck that once again behind the trap. You don't have to do this. This is entirely up to you how you want it to look. So I'm just tucking that behind, and this is the female flexi that just winds straight onto the isolation valve. So if you've not pushed it into the water filter yet, the female isolation in the box goes onto the isolation valve. The male nut goes onto the female of the kitchen sink tap. So if you follow the kitchen sink tap tail down, it'll be a female, and you click the male into it. And the isolation valve is then a male, and you connect the female into it. And then from the isolation valve, you need to go into the in section of the water filter, which is marked in on the side, in the black at the top. And there's an out which needs to go to your tap. So just going to wind this onto this isolation valve here. Once again, just tighten it up tight but not overly tight that you're squashing the washer too much, as this will create a leak. So as you can see, this water filter is now falling over and creating a bit of stress on the flexi, making my job a little bit harder to connect this on. This is why I'd say to push them connections in after, but once you've pushed them in, you don't get a releasing tool to release them out, so just be cautious of that. So just going to nip this up and then hold against with my grips for the final nip up on this connection. So on this installation, I did speak to the customer about having the sticker on the base, and they said they didn't want the sticker on the base, so we didn't put it on. But at this point, you would use the double-sided sticky tape and put it on the base of the filter and stick it to your unit. With all your connections nice and tight, you can then crank your isolation valve on slowly, check for any leaks, and if there's no leaks, then run the kitchen tap, the cold tap, for 5 minutes to flush any debris onto the pipework and the filter. With the 5 minutes up, you can then turn the water off and you're good to use the water filter. I hope this video has helped. Please do like the video, comment any questions and subscribe to the channel. And here is it running. I hope everyone has a good day.